putting an end to identity politics. This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. So CNN sent a film crew to Thailand to look for a prostitute or something that supposedly spent time with Donald Trump. And I'll be honest with you, whether it happened or it didn't, I don't really care. I know there are those who are going to be sanctimonious and says, if he was with a Thailand, whatever prostitute, they're just going to, to defend their sensibilities. Let me tell you what offends my sensibilities. When the government steals my money, when Hillary Clinton doesn't go to prison for crimes that other people have for a lot less gone to prison for, and so on and so forth. That's what I care about. It isn't that, I believe me, I care about the morality of these types of issues and things, but I don't care about it with respect to the witch hunt that's going on by the leftist media. What's funny about the leftist media is they won't investigate a single thing about Barack Obama going to bathhouses or Hillary Clinton possibly being bisexual, but they want to know if Donald Trump was with a prostitute in Thailand. Okay, so if we wanted to go there, and I've gone there this way before. Look, this dude's a billionaire. I don't know what his fantasies and indulgences are, but I know this: they aren't mine. He could go far more crazy on his stuff, and as far as I'm concerned, he's shown restraint. So, if that's what you want to hunt for. But I think it's so ridiculous that in the public discourse, things that are so important, people getting shot in schools, people trying to build nuclear weapons in order to attack us for no reason, an economy that we all need to be concerned about and what we're going to leave for our children and so on and so forth. And what is the left concerned about? Oh, Donald Trump may have slept with a prostitute in Thailand. Really? Who else? Let me tell you something. Go find me a billionaire and I'll show you, like I said, the craziness that can come into your head when you have that kind of money. I don't even know what it is. Now, I will say this. I don't believe it. I'll be honest with you. I don't believe it. But I just want to level set that if it comes back that Donald Trump had a girlfriend in Thailand who's a prostitute, I wouldn't care. And I'm not in the sense of I'd care about it from the standpoint of his marriage to Melania and all that, but I wouldn't care about it otherwise. I just wouldn't. The media is not going to entice me with their salaciousness. They're not going to do it. And it's the same thing that they're experiencing right now with the Oscars. And it's the same thing that they're experiencing with CNN. The level of believability is dropping. And it isn't even it's not so much the believability, it's the level of animus that they show towards anything that is Trump. If Barack Obama, let me put it this way, if Barack Obama were believed to have been with a prostitute in Thailand, they would be touting it as the new thing to do. Everyone's going to Thailand to be with prostitutes. Barack Obama sets a new trend, prostitution in Thailand. It's a thing to do. That's what they would do. And I know you people are listening to me going, Kevin, that's ridiculous. It isn't ridiculous. That's how they would spin it. Whatever the man did was spun to be, it's the thing to do. The cool guy. Ooh. That's how leftism presents itself. Look, I can separate, and for the record, it isn't that I'm trying to pull because when Bill Clinton was doing what he did with Lewinsky in the White House, that was one thing. That's in the White House while you're president. What has Trump done that mimics anything close to what Bill Clinton did? Nothing. This is something that, if he did do it, was done years ago or whenever it was, but it wasn't while he was president. But they suddenly care. Now, they're sending people to Thailand to look for that kind of dirt. Hey, why don't you send Mueller? Because that'll somehow tie back to the Russians, won't it? I mean, that's how things work. Mueller's got a new investigation. Are you guys aware of this? He's got a new investigation. He's now looking into, UAE, whether a top advisor tried to gain political influence by putting money into Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign. Now, if there's any money coming from the Arabs into a campaign, Robert Mueller, may I point you to Barack Obama's election? This is ridiculous. I'm to the point now where I told my team, I said, look, let's just come up with the most stupid things. Girl Scout cookies tied to the Donald Trump Russian collusion campaign. You know, when you see the Girl Scouts selling cookies all over the country, don't think wholesome little girls trying to, get their money for their little Girl Scout troops. Think Donald Trump and Russian collusion. What else? Yeah, the Oscars, Donald Trump, Russian collusion. Everything that's coming up is Russian collusion, except Russian collusion between the Democrats, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, etc. How more stupid can Mueller get? And now, the UAE is supposedly putting money. And by the way, how does that all come around to the Russians? Somebody help me with this. United Arab Emirates and Vladimir Putin and the Russians. Let me just try. I'm bad on geography, but I'm just trying to think about where they're located here. Okay, Middle East and wherever. Where's Russia? Mueller's investigators in recent weeks have questioned the advisor, Lebanese-American businessman George Nader, and asked witnesses for information about whether the UAE tried to buy political influence by giving money to the Trump campaign. This is according to the New York Times. Nader, they say, has been a frequent visitor to the White House. Kind of like Al Sharpton, a frequent visitor to the White House. And the president has praised the UAE for the Persian Gulf's nation's efforts to work with the United States on economic issues and squashing terrorism in the region, thanking Crown Prince Mohammed bin Zayed for his efforts just last week. Wow. Well, there you have it. The president of the United States thanking the head of another nation for its war on terror. I get it. I see the connection now between Putin and Russia and this whole thing. I understand. Whew, I'm glad I worked it out on the radio with you. Ooh, dude, look at what you get on the Kevin Jackson Show. You don't get this anywhere else. We just figured out the connection between Crown Prince Mohammed bin Zayed, and how he's in collusion with Donald Trump and working out the thing on terrorism, fighting against terrorism. And yeah, I know there was no Putin or Russians in there, but surely you can connect those dots. Come on now. Am I the only one seeing this? Oh, maybe. It's just so ridiculous. The Democrats should honestly be ashamed of themselves. They said Nader has purportedly been an advisor to the Crown Prince. So now Mueller wants to talk to Nader about his connection to the Crown Prince. So in other words, any job you've ever held now can tie back to Donald Trump in some kind of way. Anybody in the White House who's now, Donald Trump made a comment about a head of state, and they go, who worked for that head of state? Who's been, tangentially connected to them? Oh, well, we've got a guy. Okay, let's investigate him, even though it has nothing to do with Russia. I love it. I know it's weird. Let me tell you why I love it. I love it because it just shows you the level of desperation of the Democrats. What else has Mueller got to do? If Mueller is to the point where he's now looking at who the president talks to, then he goes on a new snipe hunt in order to keep the Russian investigation going. And the snipe hunt is now in the Middle East with zero connection to the Russian investigation. It tells you the level of desperation. You may look at it as, Kevin, they continue to do. Let them continue. Now, the bad news is if we let them continue and it waters down, because we talked about this the other day, only 1% see the Russian collusion story as worthy of any consideration. So it's a dead issue going into 2018, unless we make it a non-dead issue. Once Mueller has ridiculously continued this snipe hunt, and we finally get either another special counsel or Mueller has to spin this investigation to where it really points, which is to all the crooked, the administration of Barack Obama and Clinton and all that. If we go spin it back to that, then it gets some new legs, and suddenly everybody's going to prison on that side. That's what we have to do. So I know the game they're playing here. I told you guys the other day. They know there's nothing there. The only thing they can do now is stretch it out. And they're stretching it out because they're looking for this exponential curve, decaying curve, to where they had it up there so high where if you go on a Twitter feed, that's all the leftists were talking about. Donald Trump should be in prison. He's with the Russians. And now suddenly, it's going away. People don't care. And that's exactly what the left wants. We're going to make them care. We're going to spin it back on them.
He won't stop until he's the top-rated radio talk show host in America.
What kind of weird competitive freak are you?
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.